And welcome to another broadcast of Licorice Pizza. And you're asking, okay, Don, get to it. Who do we have today? Well, we have the band Boston. The band Boston. Boston, great city. A lot of history there. A lot of history with the band Boston, too, as well. We'll talk about them. My five favorite albums by Boston. I won't be doing that this time. I'm just going to go with. I'm going to go with three. Just three of my favorite albums. They released six studio albums, so it's not like here's a band that's been around for like decades and decades and didn't release a lot of albums. Oh, thinking about other things, but I got to get my mind to Boston. All right, that's kind of an inside joke there. Anyway, we're going to start with Boston. My favorite albums by Boston. First of all, the debut album. Man, what can you say about that? It came out in August or September of 1976 and just exploded, man. Then it went into the summer of 77. It was still extremely popular. Album ahead of its time. That's one album that still today, listening to it, still sounds absolutely fantastic. It is. It's a killer album. It really is, man. You have to crank that up. That album. You can't just turn. No, you turn it up. We'll the song list on this. Let's go through that. First of all, the songs off their debut album, "More Than a Feeling." Love the song, but radio just plays it. It's like tenderizing meat. You just hammer that thing over and over. And it's a great song, but my goodness, enough, really. And no, I love the song, but the people, they love songs and they say, you know what? The last 2 years I've heard it so much I can't stand it now. That's not fair to the band. I know you're giving it more airplay, but my goodness, it is like tenderizing meat. You just beat that thing. Oh my lord! All right, I'm off my tirade here. Uh, so anyway, no, I'm serious. I had to say that. All right, yeah, "More Than a Feeling." You've all heard it, I'm sure. I love the song. I still do. I don't love it anymore. I kind of like it. Probably after I hear it another 1,000 times, I probably will hate it. Anyway, "Hitch a Ride" off that album, another great song by Boston. "Hitch a Ride." "Let Me Take You Home Tonight." Oh yeah, rock and roll band. That's when they talk about there was just a band from Boston, and that's the title track off that album. First track is a rock and roll band. "Foreplay Long Time." What a beginning of a song. And that song, ladies and gentlemen, started in 1969. Tom Schultz started kind of working on these experimental things. And it took that long, and that's, "Foreplay Long Time." This album was years in the making, and I think maybe that's why it's so great. And then "Something About You." And if you're going to have a party, right? You're having adult beverages, turn up the music. The song's "Smoking." It is smoking. It's smoking. Just crank it up. A killer song. And "Peace of Mind." Another just fantastic song. Favorite album by Boston? Yeah, definitely their debut. I think most people, that's Boston, their favorite album by Boston. Every song is just fantastic on that album. Then one of the things, if you were a lot of you folks might not have been around way back, to 1976, 7, but working in radio in 77, I remember the Boston album being out for a year, and the anticipation for their second album. People were mad. God, when's that going to come out? They got to release an album. And yeah, they did like a year and a half after their debut. And a lot of people were disappointed in their second album, "Don't Look Back." That's a great album. That's a great album. The first one is greater. How do you top their first album? They were kind of like, how do you top that? You can't. I mean, it's a great album. The second one, "Don't Look Back," but The first one is just so over the top great. That first Boston album, yep. Don't Look Back on the second one. Party, another great song. Used to Bad News. Any of you get used to bad news? Yeah. The Journey, Feeling Satisfied, another great tune. Off the second Boston album. Well, it was 77 or 78 that came out. 78, I believe. And then what did Boston do in typical Boston form? They wait 8 years before their next album. Seriously. They said, Boston, it's only been like 7, 8 years, guys. It's time for a new album. So their third album came out. Third Stage, it's called. They got that great spaceship on the cover of it. Great spaceship. I love album covers. That's phenomenal album cover. And what do? Score a #1 song. That album came out in 1986. Amanda, nice ballad, great ballad. Amanda, and that whole album's pretty strong, very strong actually. That's really a fine album. I don't think it's quite as good as the first or second one, but still a good album. Then they had after that the album Corporate America. It's okay, you know. And of course, Brad Delp, of course, passed away several years ago. And Boston, don't know if they'll ever. I have no idea. But they leave a legacy and some great music behind for sure. What is my favorite slice from Boston? Foreplay, Long Time, off their debut album. Underrated Boston song. Ooh, that's man. It would have to be off the debut album too.
More Than a Feeling.
More Than a Feeling. That's underrated. Actually, my Smoking. I'll go Smoking off the first album. Underrated Slice. Yeah, that's just a great song. Yeah, so that you'll hear it tomorrow. Believe me, More Than a Feeling. Somewhere, somehow, you will hear that song. Anyway, that is Boston, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, Licorice Pizza, and don't forget Licorice Pizza T-shirts are available right now, small through to 6X. Okay. So sizes, all of them. So that is great news. Now we've got the T-shirts going on, which is great. So yeah, just order it, and details probably check on the Facebook page, or the site. And a lot of times one site will direct you to the next site. Okay, the way it's set up. And like, comment again, subscribe. Licorice Pizza again. It's been a pleasure. Boston, yes, do listen. Debut album. Peace out. And that is it for Boston. Listen to that debut album. You'll be hooked. See, this is good. All right, we will. I have to edit.
I'll edit that out. I'll edit that out.
All right.
Don't forget T-shirts and to like, comment, subscribe.
Okay. You know what? Oh, something fell here, like I don't know.
I'll fix it later. It's okay.
The paper. Okay. You can edit this.
Yeah, I'll edit it all out.